Hi guys, welcome to our live session. And I've been 7 minutes early to the live session just to make sure that everything is fine. And because of the glitch and everything, I supposed to be here and I need to get in touch with Dr. Arvind Poswal. So let me just wait and get him connected over this live session. This live session is all about hair loss and hair issues and how to maintain a healthy scalp, and with that a lot about PRP treatments also. Hello sir, finally I can see you. I cannot hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, let me
I
just
hope we
raise.
have guided you well. in one go you're here.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Hello, sir. First of all, I would love to welcome you. And since we are making up a little bit early, 5 to 7 minutes early, so I would love you to talk a little bit about what this live session would be about and what all topics we would cover in the entire live session.
कौन सा लैंग्वेज में ठीक रहेगा पहले ये पूछ लूं, हिंदी
Sir,
या
any
इंग्लिश?
language would work. कोई भी language.
प्रोग्राम का आप टोन तो आपने सेट करना है कि एग्जैक्टली आपके क्या जानना चाहते हैं. हम स्टार्ट करेंगे अच्छा हेयर केयर से और कुछ चीजें मैं बताऊंगा जो कई बार लोग सुन के थोड़ा आश्चर्यचकित हो जाते हैं. They are surprised sometimes that why is a doctor talking about some things which are not medical, which are not medicine, because there are many lifestyle changes we can do to reduce our hair fall and maintain healthy hair, and they are very simple. And in the end, if you want a person who has really lost hair, whether due to baldness or due to anything, any injury or acid attack, I have had some cases of acid attack victims also, so they can also, you can ask about them also.
Right.
So we can cover the entire gamut of this. And of course,
so, sir, as I
that
feel there are a lot of hair concerns and hair loss issues also that are coming around in 2021. So with the pandemic that was around, we were not we were sitting at homes. The lifestyle became a little bit different of what we were doing. We were not going out also. So I feel that there is a 360-degree change in our skin, in our hairs, and overall body also. And with mental health also, there was a little bit of change out there. So today what we'll do is we'll talk about the hair loss and we will pick 10 questions of what I've received from the people so that we can just give a 360-degree touch to all the kind of topics a little bit. So first of all, sir, I would love to say a thank you because you made time and you are here to address all the issues related to health. And with Dr. A's Clinic, I just want a little bit of introduction from your side. What all does Dr. A's Clinic do and where is it exactly located?
Okay, so we are located in Delhi, in near Nehru Place is a good landmark. So in Chittaranjan Park, we are located, and our main focus, our main treatments is only to do with hair. And not even for white graying. No, we don't treat gray hair. We don't remove it. We just grow hair by whatever means. So it can be something which is as simple as a detox, which I'll talk about, so that a lot of ladies can use it at home. And also about the more complicated matters like transplanting beard hair to top of the scalp so as to fill the entire scalp. It's up to you. You start off whenever you feel.
So first, very basic thing that I want to talk about is, because I'm also a functional medicine doctor, so we usually talk about the gut being related to every other thing. Like gut is something where everything starts from an end zone. So how do you define the hair loss issues or the hair fall issues that are being there from the childhood also to some people? So how can that be connected to the gut?
So since you are also into functional medicine, I'll say it's not only the gut. Right. It is the skin also. Sometimes we ignore the skin of our palms or hands, thinking, what problem can this create? Yes, regarding the gut, yes, gut also. Regarding what do we eat? So which is the best diet for a person who wants a healthy hair? And I'll say in one phrase, a gluten-free diet.
Gluten-free diet.
Not easy for Indians to follow because you cannot eat atta, maida, suji, no wheat.
Right.
So that becomes a problem, but it is one of the diets, unlike those which starve you, this diet doesn't starve you. You eat as much as you want, just you eat the right foods. Eat as much vegetables, as much fruit, as much non-veg as you want.
Hmm.
You have to have an absolutely full stomach. You just don't have to eat wheat or anything containing wheat. Okay. So that's gluten-free diet. So that is one thing. Second, of course, I'm not much in favor of the keto diet and paleo diet and all those ones. Though some
There's a
people do.
lot of fad diet that people talk
Yeah.
about now. So I
So
think that creates a lot of issues.
yes. So gluten-free is a better alternative to all the others one like keto diet, Atkins diet, and all those.
Hmm.
So I personally feel, and I have experienced also in myself because in my these are real here, right?
Okay.
So in my there is a history of hair loss on both sides, mother side and father side. But I have my hair good till now. So one of the things which I do is gluten-free diet. The other
Gluten-free.
aspect, the other thing which one needs to remember is moringa tea. Now, this is something which is new for people in India. They're used to taking green tea thinking that, okay, we get all the benefits from this. No, it is not so. You should shift over to moringa tea. Moringa is a plant which is native to the Indian subcontinent.
Right.
Its leaves are very high in protein, calcium, vitamins, antioxidants, and everything. Everything a body needs and everything a hair needs. Why is hair so important? Because it is an indicator of good health. Anything which is multiplying. Hair is the fastest multiplying organ of the body. That means it keeps on going throughout life. So it needs nutrition. Anytime you have anything wrong in that, and immediately you notice a lot of hair fall. So gluten-free diet accompanied by at least 2 cups of moringa tea. So people who do not know what moringa is, it's the same thing which you eat in sambar, the drumsticks.
Okay.
You just see a tree of that and you take leaves. But I know most people will not do that. So you can order it on Amazon also. You can
Right.
get leaves, powder, everything.
So
People in US.
any form of moringa tea would help for the hair issues also. Okay.
I
So
think these two are enough for a new person to follow in beginning.
right. So because I feel there are a lot of things now that are coming in picture, like there are supplements also. There are diets also that are being planned to have good hair or healthy scalp. So what do you recommend for people who have dandruff issues also from childhood?
See, more than dandruff, I would say keeping us healthy scalp and hair. How do you do that? One of the problems with our generation is that even if we are eating poison, even if we are ingesting poison, we just want a tablet to cure it. We don't want to stop the bad thing. So if we understand what is wrong with us, remember our grandparents did not lose hair in their 20s. They lost hair in their 40s. So even if I were to say that, okay, it is genetic and people will lose hair if they have a hair loss problem in their family. But still, does one lose hair in 20s and early 30s? So for that, you have to go back in history. In 1970, the decade of 1970s is the time which created all the problems for us. Okay. And what did it do? What happened at that time? Before that time, we used to use soap only. No shampoo, no face wash, no body wash, no hand wash, no all those things.
Right.
Just soap. Soap used to be made in homes. Or you used to buy it from a neighboring neighbor or someone who used to make it. But in 1970s, the MNCs came and they brought a lot of shampoos and cleansers and detergents. So if you see the advertisements even now, you do not read what it contains. You read only what they want to sell you. You look at the model who is selling it, at the actor who is selling it, and at the foam. So what they did was, in all these cleansers, they put a chemical called SLS. we also refer it to as sulfates.
Right.
And whenever we are buying a shampoo or something, we never read up the ingredients. Now, they have done research in the past 30 years. What happens is, whenever we take a soap and we rub it in our hands, or we rub it on our face or on the scalp, anything which produces foam, it has SLS most of the time, and it is absorbed through the skin. Once it is absorbed through the skin, SLS accumulates in the liver, and it causes endocrine disruptions. So, as a functional doctor, you'll understand if
So more of
how.
hormonal imbalances are being caused.
So that is why we have so many people, young ladies coming with PCOD problem, infertility problem, and young ladies and men both having severe hair loss at 20. I see they have lost all the hair at age of 20, a young boy, not even girlfriends yet. So how does he cope with life? So one of the first things which I tell them, apart from the moringa, which I said earlier, is that first of all, you remove the poison from your life, and it is in your cleansers. Now, people say they have seen a lot of hair fall during the lockdown, and they say that okay, hair fall is because we are locked down. No, it is not because. I'm going to say something for which I'll give a disclaimer beforehand. I'm not telling you to not wash your hair or not wash your hands. It is pandemic, COVID virus is there. I do not say do wash your head. But can you imagine in these past 8 months what we have been doing? We have just been washing our hands with soap.
True.
Again and again and again, and without thinking, does my soap contain SLS? Does it contain sulfates? Agar sulfates hoga, if it contains sulfates, you are absorbing that much more inside our body, and its first indication is hair fall. So the simple thing you have to do is buy a SLS free shampoo, soap, toothpaste. See, I'm talking about toothpaste. That's why I say, because sometimes patients sit up and say, doctor, why are you talking about toothpaste? I'm not talking. But SLS is absorbed from the mucus even faster than it would be from the skin.
Right.
So all you have to do, you have Google at your command, just put SLS free soap India. You have to put India first. So you get all the brands, the top 10 brands, and you just take them and make sure that even to the children at home, because they are maybe genetically susceptible, but why give them anything less than the best? So give them the best. So best is SLS free, what we can do without spending too much money and at home only. Just change your cleansers from those containing SLS to those which are free from SLS or sulfates.
Right. So maybe, sir, we are not treating the root cause which is there. We are looking at a very superficial level.
Yeah.
Right.
That is.
So, sir, there are a few questions that I would love you to answer because people have left their queries out there. So, one question came up with related to stress. Can stress really cause hair fall, and can it be treated back?
First of all, stress does not cause hair fall. It is way overrated. The only condition in which stress causes hair fall is when a lady goes into labor. That is the amount of stress that when they give childbirth, when they go through that, I would classify as a stress, because that is an extreme. But people going to office, when their boss shouts at them and they think it is stress, then that is not stress. Please remember, Ashoka, Maharana Pratap, and Aurangzeb, all three of them, their brothers were willing to kill them. That is, they had good hair. You see all the pictures, all the sculptures, they had good hair. All the people who came during partition, they didn't lose all their hair. That was stress. Being late in office is not stress. Right?
So maybe there the clarity can come that stress doesn't cause hair fall.
No. We don't have that extreme form of stress. We blame even small little stress as being responsible for everything.
Right.
If you think you have stress, then I would suggest meditation for you. But apart from that, I would suggest you look for other things also in your life.
So, sir, somebody has written medicines like finasteride and minidoxil that are available in the pharmacy. Are there something that we can use for hair loss?
See, personally, I do not prefer, I do not advise both these medicines. I will not take them for myself. I will not give them to my. I'll
Right.
tell you the side effects, and if you want, you can use it, but don't mention my name. Okay? Finasteride. Finasteride was made for prostate problem. It was tested in really old people in their 60s, 70s. So they noticed some amount of hair growth in the crown region. So based on that, the pharmaceutical companies started selling this thing to people losing hair loss. But they the major cause of which a lot of people have suffered. Some of the major side effect of finasteride, for example, is impotence. Not only just transient, but even permanent impotence is in patients. There are patients who come to me, okay, we are taking Viagra even and it's not helping. So losing all the potency is no laughing matter, no? The second, minoxidil, for example. Or I'll finish with the side effects of finasteride. Apart from impotence, there is depression and suicidal tendencies.
Right.
So if these are the side effects, and there is just a 10% chance that you may be benefited by that tablet, and you are supposed to take it for the rest of your life. That is why I do not recommend it.
Right. And so, what about minidoxil? That is, I think, marketed very well in the in the industry, and I think everyone has been recommending minidoxil.
Everyone will say minoxidil, take finasteride, apply minoxidil.
Yeah.
Remember, minoxidil, it has its own issues. It is a spirit-based medicine, so it will dry up your scalp. It will cause a lot of hair shed in the initial 2 to 3 months, definitely.
Right.
It may benefit people, but again, it benefits only 10 to 20% of the people at maximum.
Okay.
So it causes a lot of flaking also. You may have problem where you may think it is dandruff, but it is due to minoxidil. Again, I always say if you have been using minoxidil, you may continue to use it, but beware. If it is, take regular pictures. Take pictures once a month. Just put a phone camera here, make a click once every month. See whether any medicine.
So that is a very valid point, and I think we all should do that.
Yeah, because that way even it's easy for the doctor. When you come to me or someone and say that, okay, I've lost a lot of hair in past 10 months, we would like to see pictures of those months.
Right.
Maybe every month take pictures and we can say, yes, definitely. If you're taking any treatment, then you should have pictures. So you know whether it is benefiting you or it is not. Instead of two medicines, what I recommend, apart from these detox, which I said earlier, is PRP, that is platelet-rich plasma. Again, that is a natural alternative because we are going to take your own blood from your vein. We are going to take about 20 ml of blood. We are going to centrifuge it. And all through our body, you will remember, growth factors are moving all through our body. So when we have taken out the blood, what we have done is we have concentrated those growth factors. Now those concentrated growth factors we load up in a syringe and we inject in an area where you are noticing a lot of hair fall. PRP, what it does is it gives you similar benefits to what you will get from harmful medicines which have side effects, but without the. And you don't have to take PRP every day. You have to do it only once a month for the first 6 months if you have a lot of hair fall. After that, you can take it, taper it down to once every 3 months, followed by once a year or SOS, as and when you notice a lot of hair fall. Right. But PRP, remember, your diet should be good. The growth factors will be coming from your own blood. It can't be that you start doing intermittent dieting, fasting, and then expect a lot of growth factors there.
So, do you recommend any specific age for PRP?
No, there is no age factor in PRP. You can take it at any time. You may be a teenager, maybe whatever, in your 20s.
So, because when we talk about PRP, there are a lot of people who are scared to go for PRP, and there is a lot of myth around PRP also. So, what do you recommend to people who are going for PRP for the first time?
See, first of all, choose your doctor carefully. Because during the pandemic, I found a lot of people who are not even doctors. They are coming and they are offering all kind of facilities.
Right.
So one, your doctor carefully, and remember, PRP is not some magic bullet or something magic pill that you are just going to get it and then no hair fall for the rest of life. No, PRP is for maintaining your hair, for giving it the best environment in which to grow and survive. So one you remove SLS, the second you give PRP. So for PRP, there is no need to be afraid. If a doctor is well versed in the art of giving PRP, what he does is just take out blood from this blood vessel, centrifuge it, and prepare it properly, and it is injected by very fine needles and not into the head, in just the skin, and the skin happens to be on top of the head. Remember that.
Right.
We are not going to go deep into the bone, or there is not going to be
scared of.
There are not side effects of this, because most of the time people are afraid because it is on top of the head. That's why they are afraid. If there is a needle going here, what will happen? So it's a very tiny needle. It remains only in the skin. It's absolutely safe. One of the safest treatments.
Right. So, sir, next question came from a girl. So she says that products like Godrej Hair Spa or L'Oreal, are these being recommended? Again, it's one of the same questions that you just cleared out.
I think those companies will come after me, no? I have already said that you read the ingredients. If you find that there are any sulfates in them, ring up to the company, ask them, please give me a sulfate-free alternative. So the public pressure will encourage these to come up. Like Himalaya has come up with sulfate-free alternatives.
Right. So the good brands would be recommending the alternatives to you. Right. So, sir, last one question that I would love to ask, that one girl has just posted that she has a lot of coffee. So does coffee is related to somewhere with your balding also?
Okay. No, coffee is not related to balding, but I just wanted to remind you of one question you had asked earlier. That was regarding dandruff. I think I missed that part.
Yes, sir.
So that is a very common thing. So coffee is not going to benefit.
Okay.
Nor is it going to harm you. But moringa tea is going to benefit. So instead of coffee, start moringa tea. Right? Now, having dandruff is a very common thing. It is about 90% of the people have that yeast, that fungus which causes dandruff on our skin. In times of stress, now I'm saying stress, okay? Even in times of mild stress, or if we do not take adequate precautions like keeping our comb, our brush, hairbrush, our clothes, our caps, towels separate. You should not ever share them. Then you are protecting yourself from dandruff. But if you do have it, then what you do? One is you take anti-dandruff shampoos. But anti-dandruff shampoos, they remain only till a particular level on the skin. They treat it from topical layer. What we need is to penetrate all the layers. For that, we need to start a medicine, a tablet. Right? I am not going to say that you start taking off that tablet blindly. Take it under medical supervision, but ask your doctor about Flutrox. That is the tablet. So it's an antifungal. So it is to be taken once a week, and it will keep on depositing layer by layer and complete all the layers. So take it for 6 weeks, maybe every Sunday. Once you have taken and you have been applying the anti-dandruff shampoo, not the over-the-counter ones, but the medicated one. It's called ketoconazole shampoo.
Ketoconazole.
So the way of using it also. Take a bit of shampoo in your hand and apply it and rub it on your scalp for proper 2 minutes, 1 inch. And then leave it for 5 minutes. The medicine has to go through the scalp, has to act there on the fungus. Then you rinse it off. And once you rinse it off, your hair will be very dry. That is because of the medicine. Don't worry, apply conditioner. Even while applying conditioner, people usually make a mistake. How do you apply conditioner? You don't apply it over wet hair. Once you have washed your hair, then you towel dry. Apply conditioner, take conditioner, apply it over moist hair, never on dripping. Once you apply it on moist hair and leave it for about
I
2
think
minutes.
most of
Then
the
you.
girls are doing it wrong with this thing.
Yes, I know.
Great myths busted, sir. I think we all should know about how we can keep our scalps healthy with nutrition, with adequate amount, what we should actually indulge into having, like you said, moringa tea. It's something that has been now taking place, and a lot of people are talking about it, but they don't know exactly how to indulge that one thing into their diet now. So that from diet to lifestyle to stress, everything plays a very major role in your hair also. So, anything else that you would recommend for a healthy scalp?
If you can do this much, it's enough.
It's more
Just
than enough.
take cleanser, change your diet, remove SLS from your life, take moringa tea, of course, stay happy, and that is more than enough.
So, does dairy
And
products really make it possible for your hair not to grow or something like that? Like, does dairy products really not work well?
dairy products are you talking about?
So, like milk is there. So, we often don't recommend milk because it's been a cause of concern in PCOD and all those issues also.
It is a misconception. PCOD is not being caused by milk.
Mm-hmm.
People are doing research, they are overlooking the things which we are applying on our scalp and on our skin. Right. SLS is what is PCOD. Mm-hmm. Dairy or milk will call PCOD only in those who may have lactose intolerance. Right. And a lot of people think they have lactose intolerance when they don't have. Just because they would want to avoid milk. So dairy is not that much of a problem. You can check up with your doctor whether it is really a problem for you, but don't stop people from daily consumption of milk. And that is wrong. So there is one more question that has come up. Is it fine to use sulfate and paraben free shampoos? Yes, those are the ones which should be used. It's still a question. One of the viewers actually came up. Yes, if you can remove paraben free also, then it is even better. Right. So, another one question that has come up is biotin really helping? Biotin? Biotin is like, I'll explain it to you very simply. Even a rickshaw wala has hair. Right. Healthy. He gets 2 meals a day with great difficulty. He is not getting biotin. So biotin is not a magic pill which will make your hair grow very happy. But yes, it is a supplement. If you think you are not having enough in your diet, you can take, but you will need to take all the gamut of all of them. Biotin by itself or folic acid by itself is not going to solve all your problems. So any other supplements that you would recommend? I'm not much in favor of artificial supplements. Right. But as we get from diet, it is better to get it from diet. Take fresh fruits, a lot of fruits. Nowadays it's winter. Take a lot of carrots, a lot of vegetables. Take a lot of fresh juice, which is homemade juice. That will help a lot. Right. All so natural green leafy vegetables, and your bowl and your plate should be colored and all colorful out there. No supplements shall be required if you're having an adequate amount of balanced diet. Yes, that is the correct way to do it. Right. So, sir, anything related to water, like hydration also? Yes, of course, we always say take a lot of water. Everyone says that. But I do say another thing. Which water do you use for washing your hair? Oh, that is very important. Right. It is a big problem for us in India because our water supply is not automatically pure. So it has to be treated with chlorine. Now, chlorinated water, whether it is in swimming pool and sea water, these two are very bad for your hair. Right. Say that, okay, you take only RO water and wash your hair with that. That won't be practical for everyone. But as far as possible, avoid hard water. So, but how can, there is one question that came up in my mind also, like we stay in a city where we cannot get a good quality of water. It's always hard water. So how we can deal with that? See, one of the ways is how the earlier generations used to deal with it, and we don't, and that is applying oil. Right. Nowadays, applying oil is considered a high crime by your,
True.
you know, but it's not so. It gives a lot of protection to the hair. It coats the hair externally and it protects the cuticle from damage through hard water, through chlorinated water, through water in swimming pools. It will protect. If you want to have to wash perforce by hard water, just lightly apply oil. Maybe 1 hour before that washing. If you do not have a lot of time, then apply a bit of oil on that. Which oil would be the next question?
Right. That was about to be there.
Good. Castor oil is also good, but the one which you should be using is it should contain Bhringraj. It's a herb.
Bhringraj. So even I use that oil very often because it's the only oil that has worked.
Yes, because it is Bhringraj used to be the thing which works only for hair.
Yes.
The second thing I say is Shikakai. Right? But people speak the word without understanding. Shikakai means nutrition for hair.
Right.
And we are not giving. If we could use a mask once a week, it will give us all the things, the strength, the benefit which our hair needs. I know it is not my place as an allopathic doctor to start recommending these things, but yes, these are natural alternatives which should be used, and they are good.
Right. So I think there are a lot of things that we need to understand, and we need to see first the root cause and then treat your hair fall. Shouldn't be skipping up to supplements or other products that are available in the market.
Understand your lifestyle, understand your life, what all you are using, because every person is different. If I have to do a consultation for a person, it takes me 1 hour to understand what is going on in his life.
Right.
Then only I can tell, okay, do this or don't do that. Otherwise, you have to see your own lifestyle, see what is going wrong and correct it.
Right. So I think, sir, this is how even we are looking at our patients, because we first of all give a lot of time to the person to understand their lifestyles and what all things they've included. Like right now, even metal toxicity is something that we are talking about, like in aluminium foils, which we usually use. So people don't know about metal toxicity that is happening in their body, and that is all leading to a lot of hormonal imbalances now. So I think you are doing the same concept, and we all are coming on one track now. Because in modern medicine, when I was in modern medicine and as a normal doctor working in OPD, I couldn't understand the root cause of things, and we were just recommending a lot of supplements, medicines. But I feel that by recommending medicines, it's all about just keeping it superficial and suppressing the disease for a period of time. So I think if you can work on the root cause.
I'll give young doctors like you and others who will be coming after you. If you
so maybe
choose become a complete doctor.
Right.
A complete doctor need not necessarily means only he will be prescribing only a particular.
Right.
Everything, natural alternatives. If you find something which is good in another branch of medicine and it benefits your patient, don't be dogmatic about it, that okay, I'll just give this injection or this tablet, nothing else, everything else is wrong. No, because our civilization, human beings themselves existed much before modern medicine.
True, sir.
And they had good healthy hair apart from being overall. So it's not that we became healthy only by taking tablets. You are correct. We can't treat everything superficially. We have to treat them internally also.
True. Thank you, sir. It was an amazing session, and I think you have bursted a lot of myths and facts around, and I would be placing all these myths once I save this live session. And with that, sir, thanks a lot for making this entire live session very informative. And thanks to Raghav also, who made it possible for me here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, sir.